Hello everyone, my name is Cetus and welcome back to Europa Universalis IV as Brandenburg with Emperor DOC, working our way through our mission trees at some point. That's the primary goal, but we'll get in there. In the last episode, we started a war with the remains of Pomerania. We managed to eat up one of their allies in the meantime. This war is going really well. We've conquered two of their provinces. The third one we can't get to because they control the sea, which is unfortunate, but we'll survive. And our allies are sieging down Hamburg here, which is excellent. It will make our lives easier. In the meantime, we have our new idea group. We kind of ended the last episode wondering what we would choose. I'm still a little bit conflicted on this. I'm kind of leaning towards offensive, but offensive is always, I don't know, it's always such an easy choice and not always as great as I think it is. I think I'm going to take quality. I don't know if it's the right choice, but I don't take it often enough, and maybe just some straight up improving of my troops would be helpful. And it does provide a few bonuses to the Navy as well, which it would be good to get our Navy a little stronger. So we'll go with that, for good or for bad. Our military tech is 8 years ahead. 8 years ahead. So we will immediately grab infantry combat ability, which looks like it. Oh, we're moving towards getting our state cheaper, which is fine. Okay. In the meantime, what we got going here? Missionary strength improved, tolerance of heretics, we'll take that. We won't make stability harder, and we won't make we'll do that as well. Just make our missionaries as strong as possible. Don't tolerate heretics at all, but that's okay. And now we're just going to unpause, because we're waiting for this siege to happen, basically. Was as close to victory as we can be. We've called this province, which is good, the one we took from their ally. Now we can pause, convert, which will be helpful. How is Protestant doing out there? Like it's doing pretty good, in all honesty. I mean, not bad. We're only just barely in the Age of Reformation, which we already have 2 things completed, which is good for building up points towards getting our bonuses. I suspect we'll get our 10 provinces before the end of it. Early reformers. When news of the Protestant faith spread to our lands, we were among the first to accept it. We know where the future of the Christian faith lies, and while less enlightened nations may take their time to get there and need to be dragged along, we march proudly towards it. Fortunately, we are not surrounded by these fools on all sides. The rulers of a neighboring country have taken the same admirable path, freeing themselves from the clutches of the Pope and eradicating themselves in Protestant theology. Educating, not eradicating. Very different meaning. The Church of Brandenburg may hold the foremost scholars, but there may yet be much to learn from others. Together we will spread God's true message. Lebec's opinion of us plus 60. The Church of Brandenburg stands alone. We'll do that one and get the prestige boost, because our prestige is terrible. Even with a plus 15, we're still minus 16. But we're good to get that under control. Austria wants access, that's fine. Boundary dispute. The lack of good maps and tools to create accurate maps helped our cause in the border region of Brushwig. That's not even close, but we'll move along. Our local authorities have been able to make use of certain ambiguities to make a convincing case that this province should in fact belong to Brandenburg rather than Munster. We can press the issue and get a claim. They get a diplomatic insult as well. We will take the claim. We're going to be expanding anyway, so. It's an expiring claim. Where is it? Oof, that will be a rough fight. We'll have to save up for that. Pomerania is offered as a peace. Okay, so we siege that one down. So let's take a look. We don't care about their offer. It'll be crap. If we just took everything, we can't take everything. Interesting. Oof, look at the correlation against us. That's impressive. Yeah, see, this ally here is such a big nation. How many Diplo slots do I have? I'm using 4 of 4. I could probably... So I have 2 options. Let's see what we want. I was going to say I could probably integrate one of my vassals right away. So taking another vassal wouldn't be so bad. What would that... not seed. Treaties. I cannot vassalize them. I wonder why that option's missing. Honestly, not sure. Okay, so what if we give this to Verdun? Verdun to do. Wow, that alone is aggressive expansion of 60 up to 62. Look at all those nations that would join against us. I cannot take that province. That's absurd. Okay, if we just took that, a coalition would rise against us. Nothing too strong. What if we took 2? That's a pretty strong one. It's a lot of little nations, but that adds up. So we're not going to be able to take everything we want, but we're going to ignore taking peace for a little bit and try and let the aggressive expansion die down. Or we just take 1. Actually, okay, hang on. We don't take that. We vassalize them. What do we get instead? Pomerania wouldn't join. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 nations up in arms against me. If I did this. Odds are pretty high that a coalition would join against me. It's interesting. I'm kind of tempted to try it, even though it's a ton of nations. It would be an awkward way for this game to go backwards on me. So this city, I can't take it. I just can't. So we're going to force religion, force war replications, and we'll take all your money. And you are out of the war. Okay. No aggressive expansion from that choice. Now, if we vassalize, the Hamburg couldn't join because they're in a treaty. A bunch of them are only at 52. Razor, the Palestines. Yeah, it's a lot of nations that would be a problem. If we can hold off ending the peace for a year, I think we can do it. We're gonna pull this army back because actually we're gonna make it so they can't join us because them all sitting on our province was making it so we were taking attrition, which we don't want. Better income because we have a nation paying us, which is good. And they've switched religions, which is nice. You know, we strongly encouraged that, but that's okay. Oh wow, Lubeck has a center of reformation too. That's awesome. We can grab another military idea. So army tradition plus 50. That will make it more stabilized, which is good. And we have another reform. This one is interesting. Deliberate assembly. We can take parliament. Parliament gives you -1 on rest, and then you have to deal with Parliament itself, which can be super powerful because you can gain a lot of bonuses, and you have to choose a debate, and if the debate wins, you gain even more bonuses, and you gain bonuses to places that you give a seat in Parliament, and it's actually just straight up super powerful. Problem with Parliament, kind of irritating to deal with. Something you really should pay attention to, and it's very easy to not pay attention to. Royal decree. The monarch rules supreme in this country, and loyalty is valued above all else. Maximum absolution will be helpful when we get there. Aristocratic court. You lose army tradition less. General estates. Production efficiency goes up. State generals. It's cheaper to do stability. A union of states with representatives in the state general, we can easily deal with pro-feudal movements. I'm almost tempted to take Parliament. It would be interesting. It disables the nobility estate too, which is interesting. But I might go with Royal Decree, because then I don't have to think about it. I think I'm gonna do that. I know it's not as powerful, but I don't have to think about it. And you know, right now that's probably a good thing. There's something about making videos that your ability to pay attention to all the little components goes down. I think it's because you just want to keep time moving faster and faster. 10 Navy tradition, we'll take it. We're not really utilizing it, but it doesn't hurt us. And we're hoping to speed away to the year change. Don't have demands for peace yet, which is important. Improvements in land tech. So we can gain 50 military for 0.5 inflation, or 10 military. We'll take the 50 because we're using that for stuff right now. They want a peace offer. We're going to right click to say no. No thank you. I have no interest in that. Okay, so the year's changed. Ooh, admin, diplo, and military tech is cheaper for 10 years. Lovely. So now, if we vassalize you, what do the coalitions look like? Okay, so that dropped a bunch of them down to 50. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, down to 55. 6 countries down to 50, on the verge of joining. If we can buy another year before we end this war, we don't have to. Well, like, a coalition will still form, but not one that scares me. So let's see if we can do that. Let's see if we can keep this war going for a year. What do we got? Immoral prices. Force the merchants to lower the prices. They lose loyalty and influence. We should not meddle in these affairs. They gain influence. A bunch of rebels appear. They gain loyalty. We must pay for and distribute what bread there is. We lose 34 ducats. Gain influence and loyalty for the Bergs. We'll do that because they don't love me anyway. And they're not. The loyalty isn't stable. It's like the equilibrium is below the loyalty balance, which at some point I will probably have to look at, but not right now. Right now, we're just letting the year go by. Ooh, new aspect of faith. This is our third and final. We have manpower and morale of armies going right now. Honestly, we don't need manpower anymore, but I don't remember why we took it. National unrest is tempting. Production efficiency is tempting. I think I'm going to mix it up and I'm going to grab production efficiency. We don't have tons a production in the works, but it would be good to start investing my money into that. So we're kind of taking that with some future plans ahead to improve production in my country. Because right now, we're a big country with a lot of power in all regards except for money. Our money is poor. We need to get a control of that. We're in November, December, and January. And the sue for peace is happening. So our people are like, we're tired of this war. You've won the war. Give us peace. And war exhaustion is going to start going up rapidly because of that. However, we can now do this. This would take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Only 5 nations would join up against us, and I don't think they would. We're going to take 70 gold from them as well. And we cannot force religion on them, which is unfortunate. And we're going to force them to give up claims in our territory. This will help us, not because they will ever attack us, they're our vassal, but they won't be as grumpy with us for having their core provinces. So, we got another vassal. We got one vassal too many, and we fulfilled a mission. What mission have we fulfilled? Pomeranian succession. Control 4 provinces of this area. So we will do this, and we will gain a permanent claim on Western Prussia, East Prussia. Lovely. And legitimacy. So we're about to gain claims on all of that territory, which fighting Bohemia will be rough. And Prussian expansion. So we're about to gain a bunch of claim on basically Poland's lands. That's all Poland. Even the country that is a different color than Poland, they're basically Poland. They're a vassal. So it would be very nice to do that at some point. At some point. We have a disloyal subject. They have an 80% desire for liberty because they despise us. They despise us thoroughly. Minus 40 for being a heretic nation. Minus 20 for having their core. Minus 23 for war. Minus 65 for aggressive expansion. Minus 100 for forced vassalization. Just, that's actually kind of an impressive amount of hate. So we have 2 choices now. It would be good. Can I start integrating? I could start integrating Lubuck, which would be good because it's a very powerful trade node. So we're going to start improving relations with them. And I'm actually going to recall the diplomat dealing with outraged countries, which is important. But getting our vassal less grumpy is going to be important too. February 2nd, we can do that. Lovely. We're going to need to watch out for an opportunity to attack Poland now. They are very powerful. They are allied with Castile. Nothing to joke about. The Danzig, which is the territory that we need to make Prussia, which I would like to do because there's some good bonuses as Prussia. They are a march of Poland, which is upsetting. The one good news is Poland did not seem to get the I can't think of the term right now, which is terrible. The shared crown. Wow, my brain is not going to function with that term. Normally, Poland and Lithuania become one country, not in name, but for all intents and purposes. And for the life of me, I can't. Personal union. Poland normally has a personal union with Lithuania, or over Lithuania, which they don't, so that helps us. Basically, what I think we're looking for is the Ottoman Empire to attack Poland, or vice versa, though Poland would probably never attack the Ottoman Empire. And when that's happening, we can dive in and try and take some land. So we need to try and keep an eye on that. We have too many diplomatic relations, but we're dealing with that. We have advisor slots, which would be good to utilize. We could make a state, but that doesn't matter. Not really. I mean, it's one province. I guess I could make it because there's no... I mean, eventually it will be in my empire. So why not? We'll call it. I think once the autonomy gets low, it will be beneficial that it's a state. This lovely new province is doing good. Unrest is down. I'm going to pull our army back to our capital and manage some rebels. It would be good to have them drilling, but I think a little suppression would be good. It might not be necessary. We will just do it. What could go wrong, right? Exactly. The real fear we have right now is because Pomerania has such a dislike of us that someone will try and support their independence, which will make everything harder. How is our money? Plus 0.29, which is good. We have bonuses to production, so improving that would be very powerful. So we'll grab that for a bonus of 0.13. Which, it helps everything because anything we build, well, I guess that's in the Lebec trade though, but anything we build here that moves trade up helps us in multiple ways. Comet cited, every single one of these options results in losing one stability, so we lose one stability. The Great Peasant War has happened to us. -6, or +6 unrest in every province. That's awkward. Doesn't seem to be a, oh, it could be a disaster if it kept going. Okay, well, we'll just have to keep that under control. We can build another building, and we're going to want to keep doing that. Keep improving things steadily. We'll grab that 0.11. Basically, at this point, I want to try and improve my income so we can sustain our powerful army and potentially sustain an even more powerful army. And then we're going to want to integrate Lebec as soon as we can do that. Gain access to their trade bonuses, which would be great. I think, curious, you can up your vassal's land. No, it would just make it harder to integrate. I won't bother. Pomeranian's down to hating us only 100 and -76. So, we're getting there. And we're in a little bit of a period of waiting right now. Why? Get these guys back out protecting trade. Interesting. The Baltic Sea used to be the only one that gave me bonuses, but now it's Lebec trade note where I get 0.14 in profit out of sending them there. So we will do that. Wouldn't hurt to get a bit more trade power going. Let's build another ship. Because why not, right? Oh, and let's make sure... Where did they go? I'm trying to grab them without pausing or slowing the speed. Okay. We want to select this option so they go to port during war. We can invest in another idea. Are we still ahead in tech? We're ahead by 3 to 4 years in tech. So we'll grab the next innovation idea, which now we get the -10 stability cost modifier. Ooh, and we get +10 morale of armies when we get enough ideas. Basically, you increase your ideas, sub-ideas, and when you get enough, you get a national idea, which is important. Better combat, cavalry combat, which is great. We're not that far from, in fact, we're probably like a month, yeah. And then we can buffer states. So we have one more diplomatic relation. We actually don't need to integrate Lebec anymore. I think we will, because I want access to their trade power. Though it's questionable, because they have an army of 6, which is a pretty good army. So I think that's actually going to be something I'm going to consider between episodes. And we'll see what we decide in the next one. So thank you everyone for watching, and I hope to see you then.